morning and welcome to Mountain Mornings. We have an exciting show for you today, so pour your coffee and stick around. Welcome to Mountain Mornings. I'm your host, Callie Bohinnick. We're coming to you every morning from the Gaylord Rockies Resort and Convention Center. We bring you the best of the mountains every morning with insights from locals, the latest gear, activities, and weather. Let's dive in. Joining us this morning on Mountain Mornings is Dawn Wilson, the Public Information Officer for Alpine Rescue Team. Good morning, Dawn.
Good morning.
So Dawn, you head out for a hike with a group or more importantly by yourself. What's one of the most important things you can do ahead of time?
You know, something most people don't think about. Tell somebody where you're going, when you plan to be back. That is one of the biggest things when we search for someone is to know what was their intended route. Did they plan on being gone for a day, for 3 days? So if you're going for a hike, it's a beautiful Colorado day, call somebody who's going to be home for the day, who's going to be within service. And you know what? They don't even have to be in Colorado. They can be in another state and say, hey, you know what, Joe, I'm going hiking on the Beaverbrook Trail. I'll be back way closer to 8 p.m. But just in case, if you don't hear from me by 8 p.m. or you can't get a hold of me, can you call the authorities? Can you call the sheriff or 911 to come look for me if something happened? I'm parking at this trailhead and I have my dog with me. But for search and rescue, we would much rather go out preemptively, show up at the trailhead, and you walk out 5 minutes later, totally healthy. You just had a longer hike than you expected. That's fine. That's totally okay. There's no charge. There's no issues. If you don't tell somebody or they're not willing to call 911 right away and you're missing until the next day and no one can get a hold of you, then that makes it more interesting. If you are lost, if you're injured, if something happened, you are now sitting out there by yourself for almost an entire day or extra amount of time that you don't have to be.
We're getting into springtime and soon it'll be summer. Lots of families are going out on hikes. What are things that people should consider if they're going out as a family and they have to split up? You know, the group has to split up for some reason.
I love that you're bringing up that question because a lot of people don't think too much about that. So I want you to think when you're going out with a family, whether your kids are young or teenagers or even just a larger group, one of the mishaps that we see often is a larger group happens to come together and you have that one or two people that are prepared and everyone else is just kind of following and going along for the ride, which is great in theory. But it's great for all the adults or older children to know what the plan is, where you're going, and to be aware of what dangers you may have that day. Is there an avalanche danger in the snow? Is there a heat danger? We need to be prepared for water. So a few things with kids, especially the younger elementary school age kids, is you may have something as simple as your child's backpack, right? You can have stuffing in there. You've got your kid in there. You've got their snacks, which is great. But make sure that you also have maybe a backpack for the kids that can carry their own backpack, a smaller backpack, that they might have their own little water bottle they'll feel responsible for. They might have their own jacket inside. And then, of course, adults or kids alone, we always have to have our snacks, right? So make sure there's some snacks involved as well. And that could be as simple as a granola bar, a cheese stick, goldfish crackers, whatever you need to do. Additionally, a headlamp. A lot of people don't think about this, and kids love headlamps and whistles, but that's another story. Headlamps and flashlights are so simple. You think you're not going to be out there in the dark, but what if you do get lost? What if you are in the dark? This could make or break that time where you're waiting for search and rescue. It could make the adults feel better. It could help you get out on your own to find the trail. Another simple thing, you can buy these in the local store very easily, is a first aid kit. Have the basics. If you need an EpiPen, make sure you bring that. But also having Band-Aids and things for blisters, tweezers for splinters, because if you have a kid with a splinter, that's going to be a long hike out for sure. The main thing though, whether it's kids or all adults in a larger group, you say you have 8 or 10 people, don't have just 1 or 2 people prepared. Don't have 1 or 2 people with the backpack, with the first aid kit, with the food, with the water, because what if you split up? Then you only have 2 people prepared. If you do have to split up, that you split up the gear as well and make sure everyone is prepared. It's much better to split up the knowledgeable people as well. I know it's hard if you're summiting a 14er to say, oh, I really want to summit, but these people don't know what they're doing and they're heading back down. Take responsibility, head back down with them, make sure they're okay.
Dawn, another easy thing people can do before they head out is purchase a COSAR card. Tell me about that.
So the COSAR card is a great part of being in Colorado. It's only $3 a year, and most people think it may be personal insurance if they get hurt and they need search and rescue, and it's not that way at all. What it is it helps the search and rescuers. So we are all nonprofit organizations here in Colorado. We're all volunteers when we come and search for you or rescue you, and we're using our own gear. So if we are looking for you or we are rescuing an individual, if we have a machine get destroyed or we have gear get lost along the way, if you have that card, we can apply to the state towards this fund that reimburses us for that loss.
Well, thank you so much, Dawn. Great advice this morning.
You bet. Thanks for educating everybody when they go outside.
We provide Denver's only mountain-focused weather reports, so you know what to expect in the high country. The first half of our weather report show us the forecast for the first half of the resorts, and you can catch the second half of the resort's weather later in the show. So let's take a look at the mountain forecast from 6 local ski areas, from A Basin to Loveland.